Hi everyone, I want to share with you my new product, Mathify.dev. Create math animations by chatting with AI. Let's try an example. So I like economics a lot, so I'm going to try an example about economics in which we can appreciate the exponential growth nature of GDP in the short term and medium term between two countries. So I'm going to ask, for example, animate the concept of exponential growth in the context of GDP growth. Compare two countries, that is, two lines. One country grows at a rate of 2% per year, and the other country grows at a rate of 4% per year. So over time, we're going to see how this can make a big difference across the years. So that's something that can help people appreciate the importance of small differences, like 2% and 4% sound like it's twice as much. Over the short term, that doesn't make that much of a big difference, but over decades, it makes a big difference. So let's see. So we're going to try to illustrate that concept so that people can appreciate it more clearly. So as you can see, it's thinking. The AI agent is thinking behind the scenes. So it's going to take like about a minute. I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to come back with you with the results. I just want to show here, for example, like now it's creating the files, and after writing the files, it's going to validate the script. But we're going to see what I'm talking about in a moment. Okay, so I'm hoping that it's going to be ready very soon. So let's see. It validated the thing already. It rendered it. Now it's thinking of a title, thinking of a response, and we should see the result. Okay, let's see. Fingers crossed. Yeah, there we go. I like that. 2% per year. I like where it put the label. 4% per year. That's great. And then it has a value for how the gap widens. Yeah, so but let's see if we can make some improvements. So one way of making improvements is by looking at the code. So for example, I would like to move the red label to the left, a lot to the left, and the other one, let's see. I want to move this one. I could move it a bit to the right. Yeah, so we move this one here and this one here. Yeah, so we can go to the code and make the changes. You can change this code, but I'm going to ask it to modify it. Can you move the red label quite a bit to the right, and the blue label just a bit to the, actually this one to the left, the other one to the right. Let's see, I don't think we have to name the units of the vertical axis in this case because it's just like an illustration of the differences. Remove the values at the end of the, remove the values at the end, let's see, remove the values at the end of the lines, and gap widens, reduce the font size of gap widens by a third, by 2/3, yeah. Okay, so we make the changes. Now I could have made changes to the code and I could have told it, hey, I made changes to the code, render it again, and it should actually detect it, right? But in this case, I just asked it for it so that it would make the changes for me that I want. So I will pause the video again. There you go, so it did it. Yeah, I think it moved them more than I wanted, but those are details. I think it illustrates what I want to convey. Now, lastly, I wasn't expecting that the yellow text had additional words. For example, let's see. Just very quickly, so it says gap widens over time. So I think the over time part is unnecessary. So here I'm going to remove it. I could add a line break, for example. I think that would be okay too. Or I can just remove it. Let's see. Let's not overthink it. Yeah, I will add a line break. So I added a line break here. So by the way, when I make changes, I want you to see it. You can see here that changes are saved in real time. So I'm going to add a line break. This is how you add a line break. So then I'm going to tell it, I made changes to the code. Can you render it again? And it should actually try to render the last changes to the code in the last fragment. Okay, so I'll pause the video again. Okay, so this is good enough. I think it conveys the points I want to make. So you can see here the graph. I'm just going to play it once more again, and then I want to say something. Yeah, so that's our chart. That's our animation. Yeah, so gap widens a lot over time, more than people sometimes would expect, because the nature of the growth is exponential. So, but look at this. This is fascinating. I made a mistake. When I changed the code, I had actually done this, but that's not valid in LaTeX. So it detected the mistake and fixed it for me. So it kept validating the script. It did it twice. It saw that it failed, and then it finally made the fix, and then it rendered it. And as you can see here, it understood what I wanted to do, which is to break the line, and it actually used the proper syntax to break it in LaTeX. So that's when you feel like your own product starts to take life. So that was funny. First time that I feel it does that for me. Like the experience of actually making a mistake and then having the AI fixing it for you in real time. I think that was cool. But again, I would appreciate it a lot if you could try it out and give me your feedback, your comments. It would be really helpful, and I would be super thankful. Thank you so much.